I saw an article about how Dev Patel broke bones in his hands and toes when making this, and having just watched it, honestly not surprising. Monkey Man. This kind of came out of nowhere for me. I saw like one trailer and I just kept seeing people compare it to John Wick, seeing it labelled as the Indian John Wick, and it's Dev Patel's directorial debut as well. So I thought, you know what, let's give it a shot. An anonymous young man unleashes a campaign of vengeance against corrupt leaders who murdered his mother and continue to systemically victimize the poor and powerless. So, surface level, yeah, let's address it. It sounds like a John Wick film, or better yet, it sounds like a revenge quest. I don't think every revenge storyline quite needs to be compared to John Wick, even if it has somehow coined the genre. And I think I learnt that lesson because of this movie. Is it an Indian John Wick? Short answer, no. It's just so different in terms of tone and pace. I went into this expecting it to be similar. You know, short setup, bang, first action scene, bang, next destination, bang, moving through the locations in an arcade style action flick. It's just not that. And I'm wondering if the marketing didn't really help with that either. Dev Patel is the main star, and also it's his first time directing for this, and he's decided to go for a much more character driven, emotionally intense style. It's a weird one, and I should probably start off saying that I did enjoy this, but it comes with a few caveats in that Monkey Man takes itself very seriously, which isn't a problem. However, bluntly put, the plot just isn't any more well thought out of than an arcade style action flick such as John Wick. And where in an easygoing gunslinging action film like that, you know you don't need to ask many questions because that's just not the main dish the film is trying to serve up necessarily. But the setup here is so long and so intense, it tells the audience to make it the focal point. Anytime this movie ramps up in pace and excitement, it felt like Monkey Man was slowing it right back down again to re-remind us of the anger of Dev Patel's character and the reason we're rooting for him to succeed. Which is fine for the first hour, I think, but when you get to Act 3, you're kind of wanting the film to get on with it, because when it does get on with it, we see some really awesome stuff. This is an 18 in the UK, and they make the most of that by having these fights being like this fine line of brutal yet entertaining. Limbs getting cut off, bones being broken, you really feel every punch, kick, and glass smash. Dev Patel looks incredible in this, and it's clear to see the amount of work that went into the choreography of some of these fights. It pays off. When we're getting into the nitty grit of it, he's wrecking shit up, storming through people, and I had a big smile on my face. I never expected to see him take on a role like this. I'm still used to seeing him as a character from Skins or The Newsroom, and he's proved here that he's a force of nature to be reckoned with. So that's all great. Then it's mixed in with more serious tones again, even in the end of the second act and halfway through the third act, of why he's doing all this fighting. Then it makes you question the plot entirely. Things like, why does suddenly no one have a gun? Or why isn't the main boss guy that Dev Patel's after been evacuated from site yet if everyone knows he's coming for him? Or why does he go through the effort of bleaching his monkey mask, making a symbol of it, only to throw it away before the fights even start? Might not bother me so much in a more light-hearted film, but Monkey Man keeps telling me to think of it. So by the end of the film, whilst I really enjoyed a lot about this individually, like the action scenes, the intense portrayal of emotions from Dev Patel, the great environments the fights were taking place in, the plot at the end just does nothing to tie any of it together, and left me feeling kind of confused. Which feels really mean to say because it was still enjoyable. Besides our main character, we do have an interesting array of side characters, none hugely worth shouting out, except from I did really enjoy seeing Sharlto Copley again. Always love seeing this guy pop up in random films. A big pro that's worth mentioning for Western viewers is that it's an awesome mix of having an Indian cultured and centered film, but being shot in this very Western style. I'll be honest and say I haven't really watched many films that have come out of India. I know RRR was one that exploded all over the West last year, and they're becoming increasingly popular over here. It's just still all new to me. So it was just fascinating seeing what could have been a very familiar story and set of sequences be wonderfully spiced up with these new environments. Also, the music used in this was just incredible. All the song choices used in the action scenes were great shouts, and they had this brilliant training scene involving a set of instruments to make for something quite unique and fun to watch. So besides its weirdly generic villains of the day and the overall plot that's easy to find holes in, Monkey Man does have a lot to offer and puts itself in a different category that's above just calling it an Indian John Wick film. It is worth mentioning that the film is about 40 to 50% subtitled. The swap between them going in and out of English can feel random sometimes, so just heads up if subtitled films aren't really your thing. But if that's a hurdle that doesn't faze you and you love a serious action tale, this would be one definitely worth checking out. First film he's directed as well, so mad props that it's as good as it is. Right, so that's Monkey Man. Have you already seen it? It just came out the weekend gone by, and if so, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this review, feel free to leave a like and subscribe and all that stuff, and as always, stay tuned for more reviews on movies, anime, and video games. Until next time guys, take care. Bye bye.